So when I just followed those women around, I was very intentional. I made them my friends and just paid attention to how they did life and how they spoke to people and
Mm.
how they handled when things went wrong.
Wow.
Uh, I didn't care what happened when things went right. I wanted to see what they did when things didn't go right because that's what I needed to know.
Did any of them like not want to admit that things went wrong or not want you to see that things had gone wrong?
They were very transparent with me.
So, oh, they told you when things
Mm,
went wrong. Okay.
yeah, because
Yeah.
people who really are at that level of success will be transparent with you. It's just
Mhm.
people aren't bold enough to ask them.
Mm. So it was boldness
Very few people will talk to them and ask. And
because
that's
they're intimidated by them. I mean, I'm thinking of myself. I don't think I'd be any good at sales because I'd get kind of intimidated, but I would certainly be intimidated to approach a top pink Cadillac person if I were new in a company and ask them anything. I think even approach them, I'd think they don't want to waste their time with me.
you know what I found is nobody else was asking them.
Yep.
And nobody else would, and they were happy to give me their time because nobody else would ask them.
That's the
And they
wisdom
were
I've
like,
learned
we
now.
want to
Oh,
do this, or they wanted to
yeah.
help people.
You had
And
that wisdom at 19. I don't think I acquired that wisdom until I was coaching executives, much, much older.
I think
So,
it came from playing sports, though. I did
yeah.
the same thing when I was playing sports. If you want to be better, you got to hang out with people who are better than you because your
Mm,
peers can't make you better because you're already at their level. What are they going to
yeah.
teach you?
Yeah. Yeah. That's absolutely true.
So
So you
yeah.
followed what they did.
And you got to be okay not being the best person in the room. If you're the best person in the room, you're hanging out with the wrong people.
I really like that. You know what that reminds me of is I was trying to create a lesson on mindset, and I didn't really know how to talk about mindset. I knew I heard this term mindset floating around, but I didn't exactly know what it meant. So I had to Google it, and read a lot about mindset. And so there is growth mindset and there's fixed mindset. Growth mindset, you're the epitome of growth mindset, which is why I'm interviewing you. But there was a funny little kind of a question I asked in my Pathfinder lesson on mindset, like a little self test. Where is your mindset? And the question was, if you were to go on a workshop, like a hobby workshop, something just for fun, and you got there and there was an excellent leader and teacher of this hobby of yours, and you got there, would you rather find out that you were better than about 75% of the people or that about 75% of the people were better than you?
That's an interesting question.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
I'm always disappointed if I'm better than everybody else in
Me
there.
too. Me
Because I
too.
feel like, what
Yeah.
am I going to learn? Why do
Yeah.
I spend money?
Because if they're all better than you, now you're not only going to learn from the teacher, but from all those other people as well.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it kills me. I'm like, if I'm going to go, I want to be the little fish in a big pond.
Mm-hmm. So,
But a
yeah.
lot of people, especially with this whole influencer mentality, like people want to be famous and whatever,
Uh,
like they want to be the big fish in a little pond. And that doesn't serve you well in the big scheme of life.
well, it depends. I think, a lot of people can get a lot of satisfaction being a big
Oh
fish
yeah,
in a little pond. And
for sure.
not everyone is a upper 1%er, Tracy, too.
I guess. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah. But so I think it's nice. And not everyone cares about being a big fish at all. But I
Yeah, they
think
don't.
that's true. Some people like just being in a school of fish. They like the sociability of being in a school of fish.
Oh yeah.
So everyone has sort of different
I love people
motivations.
too. I love being
Yeah,
around people and learning about
yeah,
people. They're so interesting. If
they
you start asking
are.
questions,
Yeah, yeah. I bet you're like a reporter that way. Really curious. So I think ADHD people are particularly fascinating. They have so many facets. They can have really deep interests in some things that are complete opposites of each other. And they often have some sort of real hidden talent, especially if they work kind of a corporate job or a straight job. They might have some passion or talent that they don't tell anybody about. And it
it's
could just be
crazy.
something artistic, but They figure no one at their workplace cares, so they don't talk about it.
I think it's because we get off on these tangents and want to, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I want to learn that. And then
Yeah.
we just go learn it. And then you just kind of start digging into stuff really quickly.
Did you find, so maybe you went to college and then you spent a long time with Mary Kay. Did you find that most people around you, not just the top 1%ers, but most people in general, did they have that passion for learning?
The people, I find it just people who do well at anything,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what it is, like just people who are successful in life like to learn.
Okay.
They're
So they
constantly
might have the
learning.
most excitement, maybe in the early stages when they're still learning things.
Like they're just people just who are continually learning, and people who tend to like be open-minded about things, people who love other people who I guess pay attention to what's happening around them.
That attention word. See, that's sometimes we have a trouble with attention.
Uh,
What your most interesting quality to me is the degree to which you paid attention to what was happening inside of you, like your skills or your weaknesses, that you really seem to pay attention to them from an early age and say, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm good at. Now, what am I going to do with this? How am I going to take advantage of this?
well, I figured out what I was good at, and then I figured out what I was bad at.
All right. What are you worst at?
I am very bad. I'm not maternal. It's funny that I have children. God gave me the perfect children because I'm not maternal at all. I'm very bad at picking up on other people's emotions.
Oh.
I'm not really nurturing at all. If I pick it up on it, it's like it was really, really obvious. If somebody starts crying in front of me, I get very awkward and I don't know what to do.
Uh-huh.
And I'm completely, it's not that I want to be unaware, but I'm very unaware
Yeah.
of somebody's like feelings. I don't mean to be. So I have, when I do big events, sometimes I host really big events for some nonprofits, like 5,000 people. I bring in my friend Ashley because she is very in tune with other people's feelings. And she's like my buffer to the world because I'll get in go mode and just start spouting stuff off because I'm just a doer. And she's that buffer to the world for me.
So what does she do that buffers? Like let's say you just enter a room, you spout something off, then what does she have to do?
I spout it off to her and then she makes it
Oh.
sound pretty so I don't hurt people's feelings who are really there on my team to help me and want to be part of it so that I don't damage relationships.
Oh.
And I know that I would in the moment when I'm in a hurry because if I'm in the moment when stuff has to happen quickly, I won't intentionally pause to think about it, and I won't innately pick up on somebody's feelings. Like if I have to make a conscious effort to be aware of other people's feelings because I don't pick up on it.
Yeah. Sounds like you're sort of a style grid. You're what they call a driver. You're like, get something done. Well, maybe afterwards worry how you feel about it. Now you just got to get it done.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I hurt your feelings along the way, but I got you here. So we're done. Okay, let's just put a Band-Aid on that. You're gonna be all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
And so and she's the complete opposite. So I pull people in that are good at the things I'm not so that they can handle that kind of stuff. Things like that. So that because I know that needs to happen and I know I can't do it. And I'm not going to stress myself out worrying that I'm not good at that.
And that's real wisdom. And I find with ADHD, a lot of people are really stressed out about what they're not good at. And they feel like they should do anything they possibly can to become good at everything instead of maybe delegating it to someone else who could do it better.
You can't be great at everything. And you're giving other people unrealistic expectations to live up to if you are great at everything.
That's true.
Like, who can live up to that?
That's true.
I mean,
so if you've got people on your team that are not quite as resilient as you are and who might be inclined to give up, and they see you as this perfect person, they might just think, well, I can never achieve leadership in this company because you got to be perfect. You have to be good at everything.
What would
Which
that
isn't
teach
true.
my daughter? I have a
Mm.
daughter. What would that teach her? What kind of woman she has to be? I don't want her to think she
Yeah.
has to be that
So,
kind
so
of.
you don't want her to be Martha Stewart, right?
No,
Folding all the laundry perfectly.
no, I want her to know she can grow up and make her life fit her personality.
Oh, I like that.
And, it doesn't have to look like anybody else's. And it's not meant to. Um,
I really like that. Make your life fit your personality. Wonder if anyone's using that expression. I like the great expressions you come up with too. That's a good one.
that one's a first, I think. So, but yeah, you make it fit you. It's not supposed to fit somebody else.
Exactly. And
Um,
I think it's sad so many people waste so much emotion or feel really ashamed because their life doesn't fit with other people's.
and we fit the gaps in other people's lives in little things too. Like where Ashley fits that gap for me, I know I fit those gaps for other people some places. So because I'm good at stuff they're not good at.
Yeah. And there's probably a lot of things that people call on you to do because they know you can just do it brilliantly.
Now, and that's where sometimes you got to learn to say no.
Mm. You sometimes take on too much.
I used to. I've gotten better. I think that comes with age. I think that's a
Mm.
maturity thing.
Uh-huh.
Learning to pick what you want to be part of.
Learn more about Bonnie and her Productivity Pathfinder training program for ADHD adults at thrivewithadd.com.